back again to talk some more NFL football. We are already through week 7 and starting into the new week is week 7 and we're done with week 6. But before we get to talking about week 7, we always got to start off with a recap.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to recap week 6. That was a crazy, mixed up. NFL is weird right now, man. There's like 3 good teams.
And a bunch of controversy.
And a bunch of I don't know how good they are. I mean, really.
I think that makes it more fun because you don't know who is a contender or not.
No, right now, the
Bills are one of them.
The Bills are definitely one of them. But let's start off with 2 that are not. Thursday Night Football, what another barn burner. I think we've had more points scored in baseball the last 2 Thursdays than we have football. The Commanders beat the Bears 12-7.
Oh my goodness gracious. That already sounds bad. Carson Wentz. Carson Ince. He doesn't have. Oh wait, he gets the W back.
He gets the W back.
Carson Wentz. Sorry for my words.
Carson Wentz won the game and did not
throw for 100 yards
or a pick. He didn't throw for a pick this time.
But Carson Wentz got the win with
he got
only
the
99 yards.
Didn't throw for 100 yards, but won.
Because
the Bears' offense is even worse.
The Bears are going to kill Justin Fields. I saw that game.
Justin Fields had the most passing yards and the most rushing yards for their team.
Do they ever learn how to develop a quarterback right?
I don't know. Well, you need a running back, too, and an offensive line. Maybe a couple wide receivers.
They clearly have shown me that they don't have either of those.
No. So, the Bears go down to 2-4. And, that's
basically how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the cookie crumbles. Let's jump on into Sunday's game. We had the Panthers at the Rams. The Panthers are who we thought they were.
A bad team.
They're a bad team. They fired their head coach, and now they got rid of one of their wide receivers because they got into a fuss.
Because Steve Wilkes decided it's his way or the highway. Robbie, you get out of here if you don't want to do it my way. And they traded him the next day.
They traded him the very next day. So the Panthers are going to be in massive rebuild mode. I got that feeling. So they'll
trade Christian McCaffrey for as many picks. Just go and tank and find the right guy.
Yeah. If you can hang on to C-Mac, hang on to him. If not, you better get a first-round draft pick out of him. Or if you let him go for a cheese sandwich,
then the whole franchise
is going to be set back 10 years. Yeah. So, but anyways, the Rams won like the Rams should have won. We had the 49ers at the Falcons. One of the surprise games of the week. I didn't think the Falcons would dominate the game.
Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play well.
No, 28-14. Marcus Mariota outplayed Jimmy Garoppolo.
This has been one of those days, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those days where Jimmy didn't want to remember.
And that was out Cordell because he was injured. So Falcons didn't even have their best player.
They had Kyle Pitts and Drake London to throw the ball to. That was basically most of their weapons outside of him.
That was it. But, man, again, I thought the 49ers were a pretty good team. But if you lose by 14 to the Falcons, are you really that good of a team?
That's a question mark.
Are the Falcons that bad of a team if they can beat San Francisco by 14 points?
Well, it's the ultimate question mark for them, ultimately.
We really don't know. Normally by week 6 done, you would be able to figure out, hey, these are pretty good, these are not. Right now, I really don't know who's going to win 3/4 of the divisions. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. We have the Patriots over the Browns, and the Browns are a bad team again. Man, it didn't take them long to turn from a Super Bowl contender to a dumpster dweller, did it?
Nope, because of Joe Woods, which we've said over and over.
Joe Woods is one of the worst defensive coordinators in the game. He can't. You give up 38 points to a backup quarterback. The Patriots were playing with a backup quarterback.
It seemed like this is also on Stefanski for all the
mistakes
he made.
There was some bad play calling there too. I'm starting to get to the point where I think the Browns need to
clean the house.
Just go ahead and get rid of all the coaches and
they
just start over from scratch again.
I mean,
when they had Baker and OBJ and the 2 running backs and they were, and then all of a sudden they decided they wanted to clean house a bit, and then they burned it to the ground. They Bill O'Brien'd it.
They Bill O'Brien'd it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like in a way Stefanski's team didn't come out with much effort. at the
Nah,
second half.
no, I think again. I think
It kind of felt like they kind of laid down there at the end and accepted their fate.
it's just like Carolina and the Browns. I think they might have lost both teams at this point. So it's time just to and
It's
start
probably
over
also
again.
because they stopped playing well because of how Joe Woods was being bad again.
Yeah, maybe because you give up 38 points to a backup quarterback.
Joe.
Woods. Let's see. We had the Jets at the Packers. Surprise number 2. I did not expect the Jets to dominate, and I mean dominate the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers is a shell of his former self.
27-10. The Packers are 3-3.
He is a shell of his former self.
Yep.
If
he
you
is.
find one of the Ninja Turtles under the sewer and you found out they just lost one of their shells, that's where Aaron Rodgers is.
Who was that quarterback that they got in 3 or 4 years ago to be his backup?
Jordan Love,
when
he's still sitting behind him.
That's what I say. Maybe time for a little love in Green Bay.
But they can't get rid of Rodgers.
They
got a
got
4-year,
$4-year, $200 million. So they'll suffer a little bit each year.
Oh.
So,
But I'll give credit to the New York Football Jets.
did not throw for 110 yards and scored 27 points.
Because they relied on the running back.
Mm-hmm.
Brees Hall had a breakout game.
Yeah, might have still took some of that $250 million you gave Mr. Wonderful there and got some more players on the team.
Yep.
Maybe some defensive players too. Maybe another wide receiver. Maybe
You don't usually pay players with that high a salary unless you make sure that they're a Mahomes or an Allen kind of player.
Yeah, but maybe not at the end of their career.
Probably not at the end of their careers.
Yeah.
But I will say, go Allen, go Jets.
Yeah.
4-2.
4-2. The Jets have a better record than the Packers. 6 games into the season.
Woohoo!
Mom?
Jets. Jets.
All right, let's go. Jaguars, Colts.
Matt Ryan
I
turned
don't
back
know.
into his old Atlanta form for one game,
Yep.
for one quarter.
34-27.
He just pulled talent out of his butt through the whole fourth quarter.
That tells me that maybe the Jaguars defense might be the weak side part of their team. If you give up 34 points to a team that was scoring 14.
Yeah, that's very problematic.
Yeah,
Very
maybe.
problematic.
Again, you don't know how these two teams are going to go. I don't know if they're going to end up 7-10 or 10-7.
How'd they win without Jonathan Taylor? Because Matt Ryan pulled the talent card, as I like to call it.
I don't know.
You know that card? It's an invisible card.
Pittman hadn't done good in weeks, and then all of a sudden he's Superman. I don't know, man. I don't know. We had the Vikings at the Dolphins. The Dolphins without Tua
Have been a sinking.
have been a stinker.
A sinking ship.
Yeah. Vikings are leading their division.
With a 5-1 record under their first-year head
5-1.
coach.
Think about that. The Vikings are 5-1. The Packers are 3-3. 2-game lead. Plus, didn't the Vikings beat them straight up? Or have they played?
They've played them once in Green Bay, and I think they've won.
Mhm.
So that gives them a full game. 2 games ahead.
Full games plus the head-to-head.
Plus the head-to-head. So the Minnesota's in a good spot.
Minnesota's in a real good spot to win that division now. We had the Bengals at the Saints. Good game.
Let's count the roughing the passer call. There is 1 in this game. There is 2 in this game.
One of them was horrible. I mean, he went shoot flag. Yeah. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. They really got to do something about it. But otherwise, it was an entertaining game.
It's just as entertaining as counting the roughing. I made it a sport.
Yeah,
I want to try to count all the roughing the passer calls. So far, we've got 4 egregious ones this year.
Yeah, one of those in that game was really, really bad.
But
The
Joe
Bengals
Burrow
really, really needed that. Joe Burrow came back in the fourth
and
quarter.
pulled the Jamar Chase trump card, as I like
Yes.
to call it.
We're gonna win. You know why? Because I have Jamar Chase. And they definitely had chemistry there, especially in the fourth quarter.
Especially in college,
Yeah.
during their days at LSU.
Oh, yeah. We had the Ravens at the Giants.
Speaking of a
Giants.
surprise of the season,
I
the
still
New
don't believe them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They've been so bad in the past, I just don't believe they're that good, but they're that good. They are that good. Even though I can't feel it. but they're not good.
They're playing good football at the right time.
They've got the same players as last year. I mean, I'll take it, a healthy Saquon.
They got the healthy Saquon Barkley.
But the biggest difference is
Daniel Jones and Brian Dable.
Brian Dable. You
They
bring
have-
in a good coach,
And
all of a sudden your team's good.
and then your coach changes the culture.
All of a sudden Daniel Jones is maybe he ain't that bad of a quarterback. You know why he ain't that bad of a quarterback? Because he's got a good head coach. People don't put enough emphasis. They don't blame the coach. They blame the players more than they blame the coaches. I blame the coaches 75% of the time. There's talent on every team. Talent. They wouldn't make it there without being talent. That you wouldn't draft them, you wouldn't pick them without that being talent.
And Brian Dable comes off from the Buffalo offensive coordinator who turned Josh Allen into a star.
Yeah.
And
Now all of a sudden Daniel Jones
looks good.
looks good.
And Saquon Barkley looks like a top 5 back again.
And the people in New York are saying this is the best fat man they've had since Biggie Smalls.
You can't blame him though. He's
No,
5-1. in
he's
his
5-1. You bring a coach in that was. I mean, what was their record last year?
3-13. Joe Judge. That offense.
So they were
pitiful
3-13 last year, and this year they're 5-1.
in just 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give my hand off to the New York Football Giants.
I think I would maybe extend his contract right now and keep that head coach because you don't want anything to happen.
I say go ahead and on the trade deadline, go ahead and trade for somebody and go for that playoff spot.
Because the Giants
Look like a good team.
They look like a pretty.
They
good
played
team.
very well in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Speaking of the fourth quarter, the Ravens blew
another double-digit lead.
They
And
started to look like
that's
the Falcons.
3 times they've blew double-digit leads in the second half of games.
I have to take a second look at John Harbaugh right now. Can you hold on to a lead, sir?
Mm-hmm. It's because something, I don't know if you get ahead and you change strategies or what happens, or the other team changes their strategies and you can adjust to that. Whatever it is, they're not playing very good in the second half of football games. I don't know why.
It's starting to look like the purple Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We had the Bucks at the Steelers. Another huge, I mean, how many upsets are we going to have in a week? The
Plenty of them.
Pittsburgh Steelers with a rookie quarterback that got injured, and you bring back in the backup quarterback who
Mitchell Trash
who
Biscuit.
got bitched because he wasn't that good and still beat you 20-18.
This is not on Tom Brady. Although he didn't play that well, it's because of Todd Toilet Bowles.
Yes.
Toilet Bowles strikes again.
Todd Bowles was the head coach of the
New York
Jets,
Jets.
whenever they were horribly bad.
And he did barely anything with them.
He's got a good defensive mind.
But he's a bad head coach.
He's a bad head coach. He shouldn't be a head coach anywhere. Even though they keep giving him chances, he shouldn't be a head coach. He needs to be. He's a great coordinator.
He's good with the defense, but he's bad as a head
He's
man.
bad as a head man. Yeah. So
This game only proves it.
this might be the downfall of the Bucks this year. This might be it.
This could be it for Tommy.
I think this might be it.
I mean, looking back, maybe Tom should have retired last year.
I know they're 3-3 and on the verge of not even making the playoffs if they don't. I mean, you're not going to make the playoffs at 9-8 or 8-9.
You're not going to make
or,
the Super Bowl with that
no.
kind of nonsense.
So if you don't improve your average of winning, then you're not even going to make the playoffs. And Tommy can spend some extra time with his wife and kids because he's not going to be in the postseason.
Or wait a minute.
With his kids, anyways.
Gosh.
We had the Cardinals at the Seahawks. Man,
The Cardinals play like doo-doo in the first half and played like doo-doo in the second half. What the heck happened to Cliff Kingsbury?
9 point. I think it might be time to get rid of the Cliff Kingsbury. Think of it now. I'm not saying Cliff Kingsbury had. Who did he have in college as his quarterback?
He had Patrick Mahomes.
Did he win with Patrick Mahomes?
He was 12-19, or 13-19 as a college coach with him.
So you have Patrick Mahomes with the talent we see now, and in college you're 13-19. What makes you think that you would be better now with a lesser quarterback?
Very little.
I think it's time to kick him back down to the college.
But the problem is the Cardinals GM paid him a 6-year plus contract. They'll have to eat $100 million in debt money.
Well, you can either eat $100 million or eat 5 more years of disappointment. Either one of them tastes really bad. one of them gets over quick, and the other one lasts for 5 years. So I think I'd rather take the crap right now than just eat a little crap for 5 years straight.
Geno Smith continues his surprise year.
Geno Smith, I'm proud of him. He has really come back and said, "Oh yeah, you think I'm done?
You think I'm a bad QB? Watch this."
I don't know. I think I'm going to beat a few teams along the way before I go down. And he keeps hammering teams that. It's
been an amazing rise for Geno Smith over the past year.
It has been, yeah. And he's done surprisingly well. Yeah, we had the Bills over the Chiefs, a low-scoring game.
But the
24-20
had finally got the monkey off their back.
Yeah. And how about Tony Romo at the first of the game saying, "I don't think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I'm feeling like 24-20."
Is he some sort of psychic?
I don't know. I mean, it'd been nice when he was the quarterback of the Cowboys if he was that psychic.
Was he like the Simpsons of predicting football?
I don't know, but it was a lower scoring game, but it was still a fantastic game. The people were probably a little disappointed because last year's playoff game was like one of the top 5 games in the history.
You're not gonna get a repeat.
You're not gonna get a repeat of that, but it was still. We call the Bills because we have the Bills in the Super Bowl, and we said
they got one piece that was very effective in this game. Von
Miller. Von Miller. Again, we've said all season long.
Would be the benefactor.
Would be the benefactor, and was probably who would make the difference of them getting to the Super Bowl. We picked the Bills for the Super Bowl, and for the Bills to get to the Super Bowl, they had to win
in Kansas
that
City.
game. Yeah, and they did. So now they are on the track. They will probably, if they hold serve, which they should,
or they avoid the injury bug.
Then they should have home fields throughout the playoffs.
I'm starting to really like watching Josh Allen play.
He's a monster. I didn't really realize how big he is. He's a linebacker playing football,
and
he likes to run over people,
and he likes to hurdle over people.
Yeah, or hurdle. That was he's a big boy to be hurdling. We had the Cowboys at the Eagles, and the Cowboys came back down to
earth.
Life. Yeah.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. He is so horrible, man.
The Diamond. We talked about how Joe Woods is the worst defensive coordinator in football. Period.
Yeah, Kellen Moore may be the worst offensive coordinator
in football.
When you take that talent again and just disaster it all up, they're going to be that way until they get rid of him. They're not going to have a consistent offense.
Unless Boise State, that job opens up, maybe.
I wish
he was an alum.
I wish Boise State would really try to hire him. It would not break my heart. Not at all. No.
But Dan Quinn, try as he might, could not overcome Jalen Hurts and the powerful Eagles.
No. The Eagles, we said, are the best team in the NFC right now, and I think by far the best team. I think anybody that they played right now in the NFC, would you take the other team? Anybody in the NFC?
I wouldn't take them over the Eagles right now.
No, I would take the Eagles -3 against anybody in the NFC right now.
Yep.
Maybe -4.
They dominated the Cowboys throughout the game and did it when they needed to have it late.
Yeah. Packers are 3-3. Bucks are 3-3.
I think the Eagles are the devout
Rams are 3-3 or 4-2.
The Eagles should be your favorite.
The Eagles are the NFC favorite now, and again, I think by far at this point, unless injuries get them, I don't see anybody catching them. We got and then Monday Night Football, another barn burner. We had the Broncos at the Chargers.
We got 2 brain dead head coaches right here. Nathaniel Hackett is
he is horrible.
Awful.
Maybe he'll learn throughout his first year. This is just his first year there, but
he is.
But it's pretty bad.
Bad.
He's looked pretty bad right now.
And we got Brandon Staley, who's a stale piece of bread as a head coach.
He's a little stale too. He's got a lot of talent there to be. That's probably the most talented roster that does the least, in my opinion, is maybe the Chargers. They've got enough talent to win the Super Bowl, and they're not even going to be second in their division.
Because you know why? Because at the end of the fourth quarter, 3 timeouts he had in his pocket did Staley. He could have used them to drive down the field and win the game. He instead took 2 dump-off plays and took all 3 timeouts into overtime because he didn't use a single one of those. And Nathaniel Hackett being the bad offensive coach we know he is right now. The offense does nothing after the first quarter. Have you just told the Broncos offense might be the worst in football at this point?
Oh, if not, they're pretty bad. You take a Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback and
Make him look like garbage.
and make Kirk Cousins look better.
How does that? That's what turned me on Hackett.
Yeah.
You can't use him. You can't use the Judys. You can't use any of the talent that you got over in Denver to do something. Do something right.
Nope. Not going to do it.
And guess what? They lost. They lost because of an injured kicker who got a twisted up hammy and beat you on a field goal.
It should have even come to that. But anyways, that is our recap of Week 6. Now it's time for a little dumpster fire. Here's Marty, our dumpster fire. And here comes the dumpster fire of the week.
Something smells a little bit.
Yeah, rotten.
Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah. And the dumpster fire is
the Green Bay Packers.
The Green Bay Packers.
It smells like burnt cheese.
I smell rotten cheese. Yeah.
Ew.
Lindenberger, Wimberger, whatever kind of cheese. Ew. What has happened? What happened up in Green Bay?
I know what happened because you paid that quarterback, old man Aaron, on his rocking chair 4 years and $300 million.
Okay, real quick, without trying to look it up, who's the stars on the Packer team?
Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, maybe?
Aaron Jones, maybe?
His best receiver is Alan Lazard. That's my guess.
How are you going to win? That's what, with that roster. I mean, you've got Aaron Rodgers, technically, he's the regular season MVP, and he doesn't even look good in the regular season now.
I think that's on the coach, too. The coach is the one, who's the offensive coordinator? Nathaniel Hackett left. He's doing bad.
Yeah.
But you got the freaking offensive line coach. The offensive line coach
is your offensive coordinator now.
He's the guy who sets up the line. Why would you choose him? Why would you choose that? Explain that.
I don't know, but the Packers now are 3-3. They are a 500
The management is
team.
also to blame here because they didn't give him any weapons whatsoever.
They are so bad that a rookie DB for the Jets wore a cheesehead after a game and pranced around with it and is not afraid of any repercussions. That's really bad. And check out, let's see, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of the next 6 games that the Packers have, they are at the Bills, at the Lions, have the Cowboys, the Titans, and the Eagles.
That's going to be 3 losses at least.
So you've got 6 games coming up. You split those, you're 6-6. You're a 500 team. The Packers will not make the playoffs.
They will. With how they've looked this year, I wouldn't be shocked if they missed it.
Of course, the rest of the NFC looks so bad. You might be able to get in there with 9-8 this year, but I don't know. How do you turn a team that's 14-2 into 8-8?
That's on management.
That's pure management, man.
And
on Aaron Rodgers, he should have.
And on Matt LaFleur. Let's not bring him out of all this.
Yeah, I would think, after I've played for 15 years and I've made, $300, $400 million I've got stuck in the bank, I would like to go out personally on the top, winning. So I would say, all right, pay me a cheese sandwich and put a team around me that I can win and go out on top with. Instead of going out in flames, stinking of burning garbage. That's what the Packers are right now. They're burning garbage.
It's like burnt cheese that's not even good to eat.
I don't know. I just don't understand how you get to this point with the talent that they had. They've got 38-year-old wide receivers.
They got old Randall Cobb.
And I think he got hurt again. So you got Lazard. You got Aaron Jones is the only bright spot on there, and they don't use him good. Because everybody knows he's the only talent on that team, so the defense stops him.
And then they have no receivers that can get open or nothing.
No, they have no downfield threat. No, the linebackers can outrun all the wide receivers, so they don't have any. I don't know, man. It's really disappointing. I'm not a Packers fan, but I'm a fan of football, and I'm a fan of the history. And the Packers right now just
Make me feel like cheese isn't that edible.
I don't know, man. That just looks really, really, really bad.
Give me cream cheese any day, man.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into week 7 and think positive. We got some good football. Thursday night's game this week doesn't look too bad. We got
That's a positive.
We got the Saints at the Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals look bad, and the Saints aren't great. But we got 2-4 versus 2-4. Maybe it'll be
Elimination
better.
game, maybe.
This is an elimination game. Maybe it'll be better than 9-6 or 12-7 or whatever we've had the last 2 games. I want to see some offense. Arizona's actually favored by 2. I don't think there's no way under God's green earth that the Cardinals beat
The Saints.
the Saints. I think it's like 27-13 or something. The Saints have way more and are way out. I mean, with the coaching they've got right now, I would definitely go with the Saints +2, and just see how that goes. We got the Bucks at the Panthers.
I've got 2 words for this. The Buccaneers do have Todd Bowles, but they
Yeah.
do have Tom Brady, and my team is flaming hot garbage.
And they
right
are,
now.
and the Bucks are coming off of a loss, so I don't think Brady loses 2 in a row. If
And-
they lose 2 in a row and they lose to the Panthers,
There's
they're
problems.
out of the playoffs too.
But at the same time, my team is such flaming hot garbage right now that I
Yeah.
don't know if we're going to compete with anybody.
No, I would definitely the Bucks are -11. I would honestly probably take that. We got the Falcons at the Bengals.
Bengals are starting to get their footing in place.
Yeah, Bengals -6. I would
That
probably take
division's up for
Bengals.
grabs, and I'll just see if the Bengals can get themselves
I
together.
don't think the Falcons look that good 2 games in a row because they haven't done it this year yet. They looked pretty good last week, so they're probably not going to look good this week. Like I said, they've been sort of on and off the whole year, so we'll take some Cincinnati -6 there. Got the Lions at the Cowboys. Dak is supposed to be back. Dak is back. So
Against the Detroit Lions.
I would probably take Dallas just because they're going to want to come out and they're going to have some new wrinkles, new plays that nobody's seen so far this year. So nobody's going to know how to scheme against this offense yet because they haven't seen it. But one time.
Unless you're talking about Kellen Moore, which he'll
The only thing that could kill it is Kellen Moore because he is the worst offensive coordinator in football, at least in my opinion. I'm a Cowboy fan. He sucks as an offensive coordinator. He's Mr. Clappy Clappy Part 2. That's all he is.
I think a contender would be Todd Downing, but who knows?
Who knows? But I will take the Cowboys just because of the surprise attack. And the Lions have a great offense, but give up points like crazy. So
They're like a Big 12 team.
they are, yeah. We got the Colts at the Titans.
Speaking of Todd Downing, oh man, what did I foreshadow?
You foreshadowed a little Todd Downing here. The Titans are at home, favored by 2.5. I'd probably take the Titans. Again,
unless Todd Downing pulls the Todd Downing effect.
I use the same logic on this one. I don't know if the Colts can look that good 2 games in a row. Because they haven't.
Unless Todd Downing pulls a Todd Downing.
Unless Todd Downing of the Titans pulls another Todd Downing and screws up this game too. But right now, I'd take Tennessee -2.5. Packers at the Commanders.
This is going to be a smoldering mess.
Think about this. Brady is playing the smoldering mess of Carolina.
It really is a smell.
If he loses that game, it's over. The Packers are playing the hot mess.
The Commanders.
That is the Commanders. If they lose this game,
It's done.
it's over, baby. We could lose 2 legend quarterbacks out of the playoffs this weekend.
Ouch. That's bad.
If either one of those 2 lose to those teams, you ain't gonna get over that.
That's the kind of smelly ineptitude.
You're not coming back to losing to the Commanders with a backup quarterback. Or with Wentz.
Or Wentz. Okay.
Yeah. He's Wentz right now. He didn't get a win. But, I mean, I would have to take the Packers -5.5 just because that shouldn't happen. We got the Giants at the Jaguars. Believe it or not, the Jaguars are favored by 3.
I'm going to take the Giants.
No respect. They still have 0 respect. I'm taking the Giants. We're +3. We're catching some points.
So, yeah, I'll take the G-Man.
Yeah, G-Man on that one. And until they fall on their face, show them some respect. They have earned it at this point.
Yep.
Browns at the Ravens.
Ravens can't hold a second half lead to save their lives, but Joe Woods is
Joe Woods
such an
can't.
awful,
Joe Woods can't stop any offense, so Baltimore will probably look good in the second half because Joe Woods can't stop them.
because Joe Woods is so
He is so
incompetent.
horrible. He is such a horrible defensive coordinator. Baltimore's -6, probably 10-point game.
He's the chicken that got lost in the hay barrel.
Yeah, I think this is more like a 31-20 game. I think the Ravens win handily. Jets at the Broncos. I want to take the Jets. This is a feel-good team right now.
Yes.
Broncos are favored by 1, so you're catching 1 point. It's not a huge, but I still think the Jets are playing fantastic football.
T-S. Jets.
The Jets are playing fantastic football right now.
Who would you take right now?
There's just a little bit, it ain't a lot, but there's just a little bit of swag on that team right now.
Who would you rather take, Nathaniel the Hackett or the Jets right now?
I'll take the Jets right now. I am taking the Jets. Got the Texans at the Raiders. They've actually should have won a bunch of games at this point, but they keep losing.
Because of Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels may be just as bad as he was when he was the head coach of Denver. You thought maybe he went to the Bill Belichick School of Rehabilitation and learned how to coach? I don't think so now.
Some guys can't be rehabbed in that.
No. Bill O'Brien. Some people just can't be rehabbed. But I'll probably take I gotta take the Raiders. We got the Seahawks at the Chargers. Chargers are favored by 6.5. I want to take the Chargers, but I worry.
Yes.
I worry if they're going to show up or not.
Will Brandon Staley misuse his clock? Will have bad clock management again.
Yeah. The Chargers are favored by 6.5. I'd probably take that but then, I mean, Geno has looked so good for the Seahawks. It wouldn't surprise me if there's an upset here, but logically you should take the home team, Chargers, but logic hasn't failed very well so far this year in the NFL. Got the Chiefs at the 49ers.
I'll pick Kansas City pretty handily here.
Yeah,
they're coming off a loss.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes is looking to bury the 49ers a little bit.
Yeah, Chiefs are favored by 3. I'll take that -3. And then Sunday night we got Steelers at the Dolphins.
Tua is set to make his return, I believe, in this game.
Tua coming back, I probably have to take Tua.
And the Finns.
The Finns, it's a 7-point. I'll probably take the Dolphins +7. And then Monday Night Football. Oh, I'm gonna be going to bed early that night. We got the Bears at the Patriots.
But at the same time, Peyton and Eli are set to return this week.
So I'll probably stay up and watch Peyton and Eli. I don't care much about the game. I just want to hear what they say about it. New England's favored by 7.5. Do you think New England can beat the Bears by 7.5? After last week?
Yes.
Yes, I do, probably.
Even with the backup quarterback, they'll still outplay the Bears because the Bears can't produce any offense.
No, because Justin Fields he passes all of them. He's their best rusher. He's probably their best wide receiver. He's probably their best fullback. I don't know. He might be their best tight end. But anyways, that is NFL for week 6 of 7. We hope you had a little fun with us. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button,
Groovy baby button.
Share us with your friends on Facebook or something. Show us to the world. Hit the Groovy baby button, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.